And the beautiful city of London has housed the European Minors, brought to you by FACEIT. Yes, live from Twickenham Stadium. In 2014, NIP raised the major trophy in Cologne. Today, they will begin to end the pursuit just to qualify for the 13th ever Valve-sponsored major. Meanwhile, young contenders Ence will look to solidify their spot for the first time ever in a major. My name is Trace Saranthus, Stunna you might know me as, and then to my right I have Sponge and Maniac, and we will be the ones who will be trying to bring you the analytical section of what is sure to be a banger of a third place decider in a way.
Well,
right?
Whoever wins this match, it doesn't even matter about the third place. Whoever wins this match is in the major. Yeah. They've taken that second spot of the EU minor. They've signed themselves in. They get to do literally signatures. And maybe they can get involved in some subscriptions, Trace.
Some subscriptions. You know what? Instead of that, yeah, actually, I guess we could do that. You know, when we think about subscriptions, probably
magazine subscriptions,
FACEIT premium subscriptions,
newsletter subscriptions,
Minors 20, if you know what I'm talking about. Chat, what am I talking about?
Well, head over to FACEIT or fce.gg/premium and use the code Minors20 to get 20% off. It's on this camera right here. The telly light's green, so it's this one to get 20% off your FACEIT premium subscription, and you can play with me, maybe, if you're lucky and you're in Europe.
Chad, is this, well, I guess this isn't the appropriate place to tell.
To announce my comeback?
To tell the world.
We'll wait.
We're not quite there. We're not quite there yet. And also, you were a little wrong. It is the red is actually on the tally light.
That's the...
Yeah, so, I mean, you were close. Like, it was a 50% chance you were getting that right.
Wait, hold up. Can you feel it? Can you feel the tension in the air? Because, mate, I can bloody well cut it with a knife. This one's going to be a banger.
It's going to be a banger, to say the least. Very much that. Ence and Ninjas of Pajamas squaring off here in one best of three. One of these teams is going to the major, and one of them is sitting at third place just outside, just within grasping distance of being in the next major, brought to you by FACEIT.
One of these teams may cry. I'm being serious, actually. There's a lot of emotions on the line right here, right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. The whole tension in the air thing for two separate reasons. NIP, as you mentioned when you kicked the segment off, are a historic name within Counter-Strike. They've attended majors. They've won majors. The name is one of pedigree. You have Ence, on the other hand, a young team of fundamental stars who have been built up the right way by the, I guess, nurturing hand of Natu and Lurpus and co. and fixing the Finnish scene. And their hopes and dreams to play at one of the biggest tournaments in the calendar is on the line right here, right now.
Well, they have definitely turned heads thus far. But in fact, Ence will be the first topic of discussion here, guys.
Yeah, so I guess, you know, the best port of call is they just had that match there, which was one-sided in the first two. Obviously, they had a blowout and they got blown out, right? So there's contrasting results there. When you go into the third map, it was more back and forth, and we got to see, I guess, their mental resilience. And that was a question for me after they got such a shellacking on Mirage. The fact that they're able to withstand that storm is a positive sign.
It is a positive sign, and, well, only time will tell just how positive either of these teams will be. Let's hear a little bit more about these teams in depth.
To get in the major with a Finnish team would mean a lot to me, and I think we have really big potential in this team, and I'm confident that we will make it happen.
After a loss against Optic, Ence still have one last chance to qualify. Their only hurdle, Ninjas in Pajamas.
It is my goal and my dream to win a major and to be in one, and it's like the most important thing for me in my CSGO career.
Coming off a win against Sprouts on day 3 of the European minor, NIP have one last chance to secure their spot at the major. Rez and Forrest proved the dominant force in the Swedish side. But will it be enough to take the last remaining challenger spots?
Will it be enough? And again, only time will tell. Now, an interesting tidbit is this. We've seen Allu both in NIP and in FaZe. Okay, and I believe that this is the first time that we've seen a successful iteration of a Finnish lineup come out with him on it. And fittingly so. Are there any comparisons, contrasts right there within that alone?
Well, I think it's a beautiful story for two different reasons. First off, obviously for Allu, I think being able to bring his experience to his countrymen must feel good. You know, you have always this proud, you want to represent your country, and if your scene is doing well, this is obviously a good sign. And the other positive is that they're actually doing well. I think it's one thing to kind of step back from the top level to just play with people you know you're never really going to achieve anything. You're just here to bring them experience, but that's not what they're doing here. Here they are capable of making it to the major. They have impressed us. So not only is he coming back to his countrymen, but he's also succeeding with them. So that's it's beautiful in both regards.
Yeah, definitely turning heads, right? And I think that's a really positive factor that, you know, Allu for so many years was the beacon of Finnish Counter-Strike, and now he gets a chance to play with youngsters who have idolized and looked up to what he's been able to achieve, and together they could potentially right here, right now, bring something great to their motherland.
They could bring something great, and I think it's a cool story too if you're Allu as sort of the veteran player. Like, you are given that leadership role whether you like it or not.
Yeah. I think that's cool. We miss that in esports, right? It doesn't really feel like it's there as it is in traditional sports in that regard.
Even when my time with Cloud9, when it came down to just Jordan left on the team, he was the elder, so to say, and you know this was a guy that perhaps you'd lean on and say, hey man, what can you bring to the table in terms of veterancy and leadership?
Absolutely. I always say to people when they ask me, being a successful professional obviously is about the skill, about your capacity to go for multi-kills, play the AWP, anything you want, but also it's your capacity to be a professional. And I think Allu in that regard can bring a lot in terms of how it is to do the preparation, how it is to self-reflect on yourself, being open to criticism, all these qualities that you need to have, in my opinion, if you want to be a successful professional. Well, he can bring that to them, and he can just make them step forward a few months just with his experience in terms of how you're supposed to behave if you want to succeed in Counter-Strike.
Right. Well, Ence did just play in this first game here, and for all intents and purposes, this could have helped them to fire up going forward.
Look, there is going to be a spark of disappointment considering how well they did play in the first half of Inferno, the third map, the last map against Optic, and then just fell apart on the CT side.
Yep.
Now, we already touched on the mental fortitude of these guys throughout this tournament and the question marks that have been there. They can continue once more off the back of a best of 3 where it's make or break, really. It's make or break again right now, going up against a roster like NIP, who have been there, who definitely, you know, for a different reason, also really, really, really are hungry for this W, because if they don't get this one, big questions are going to be asked about this roster.
Well, big questions are something that we're no stranger to around here. In fact, we do have some questions that we might get answered. And to do that, it's going to be Freya the Slayer on the floor with the player. And that player is Get Right. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Dana. Yes, I am here with the one and only Get Right. So how are you guys feeling going into this matchup against Ence?
To be honest, it's weird. Mostly because we haven't been here in a very long time. We haven't been at the majors in a very long time. It's a special feeling. I can't really describe how it feels, but it's going to be amazing, and it's finally about time.
So are you feeling confident that this lineup with your new IGL as Lecro, do you feel confident that you can make it all the way?
I'm really confident because we have put so much hours the last like 2 weeks or something like that, and ever since Cologne we had like a big meeting. We had like a lot of meetings in general. What's wrong with our game? What have we done wrong? People need to put in more hours. I've put in even more hours than I usually do, and I'm so confident that we are gonna give a big battle here at least.
Because as the fans at home have seen, we saw some photos of you, I think, practicing at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. Do you think that dedication is going to be the difference maker coming into this game?
I'm sure on that because like I'm a person that have lost my way for a couple of long time now, and I think that people has been seeing that and so on. But ever since I had a long discussion with the team, and especially with Faruk, I've been doing a lot of work with myself and a lot of preparation that I did before, and I see the difference. Maybe it's not really seeing the difference for anyone else, but I see it. And end of the day, CS is a lot about the mental game, and if I feel confident, then I know I'm gonna be more successful in duels. I'm gonna be more hungry for the win, and I'm gonna be more dedicated to just winning. And I feel it in my body, and I'm just excited to play this game.
So just speaking about that mental game, Ence have obviously just come off a loss in a best of 3 against Optic. Do you feel like you have the upper hand then in terms of the mentality?
Not really. It's 0-0. We have to just start from the beginning, grind the game, and just do what we need to do for making us the winners of the game.
Because last time you faced Ence, which I believe was in Cologne, you guys lost out in a best of 3. What are you going to do differently coming into this?
That we will see on the server.
Nice, that's good. Good secretive answer. We're going to head back over to the analyst desk.
The mental game is definitely something that they had to have worked on coming this far. It's been a long road for these ninjas, and going into today is no different.
I think if you can't see the emotion there with Get Right, the fact that in the beginning of that interview he was not lost for words, but trying to work out how he was going to articulate what he wanted to say. This means a lot to these guys, and Forrest and Get Right especially. look, the heartbreak that they've gone through over the last couple of years, missing out on majors in such huge fashions. I think, the case loss on against Vegas Squadron, that one really rings out, and it would be a painful reminder to be in the depths, to be down in the darkness where they are, and having to fight through with scrappy Counter-Strike, and all they have right now to put on the line is emotion and experience against a team who is looking much more well-rounded than they are. This is going to be a fiery match. This is going to be something which comes down to the clutch moments. This is going to be something where we will see NIP leave it all out there on the line, because if they don't get this victory, I doubt this team will be together for much longer.
And that is an unfortunate and maybe even an unprecedented truth, brought to you in part by Chad Burchill. He does have insider information.
And I know all about heartbreak, so for me to be talking about that one from an expert perspective, it's definitely all true.
Yes, that is also one of the sessions you can purchase through that group. What's it called again?
THC.gg.
Yep. Anyway, so Maniac, what did you get out of that interview with Get Right? I mean, having seen sort of the mental state of the team, but we kind of heard it through him.
Yeah, I think obviously it kind of hurts to hear, but at the same time, I'm happy that, not happy, but I like the fact that he's conscious about it and lucid about it. And I think when you have those kind of emotional or mental issues, the first step is probably to realize there's something wrong. Obviously, I don't have insider information, so I don't know how far they've gone this way. He said he's confident. I mean, we don't know what's happening in the team. Maybe the feeling playing with Lekra as an Ingham leader, maybe players are happier with their role that they have now than they had before.
Yeah.
It is possible that we miss some information, but I agree with Chad. I think two teams are going up here with very different qualities.
Yes.
Okay, on one hand, you have a type of clinical, right principled CSGO, and on the other hand, you have experience and the ability to steal around. I'm almost going to say we've seen Nips backing up clutches 1v3, pistol force buys. That's two different types of Counter-Strike. Now, the thing is, the fact of the matter, this is a game with extremely high stakes. So I'm inclined to say experience and, that can have a role. So maybe Nip can weasel their way into this.
Well, you know what? You're exactly right when it comes down to the palms being sweaty and the arms feeling like spaghetti noodle arms if you're Henry Greer, but that's not exactly who we're talking about right now. We got a head-to-head player comparison here between X7 and Forrest, two players in their own rights that have shown up big time over the course of this tournament in spurts.
Yeah, I think we can avoid getting stuck too much into the individuals here. These guys are all going to have their moments. I think something we should probably reflect on before we get there is the Veto situation. And last time these guys played, it was a 16-6, 16-2 victory at ESL1 Cologne, and that's with Lekra just joining the roster for NIP. He'd only been in there for a very short period of time, but they're shellackings. That's NIP getting their asses handed to them by a young, hungry squad of Finns who are ready to dine on their Swedish corpses. But look, the thing is, going into this, I think the map pool is settled in a way that NIP now know that they can punish Ence, and it's going to be interesting as we move forward which players will step up, whether it's X7, whether it's Forrest. Only, like you've said throughout Trace, time's going to tell. But I liked what Maniac was saying. There's two different approaches from these teams. The Nip Magic, they have a cauldron. They're going to throw whatever they have in there. They're going to see the best that they can get out of this team and hope that some magic pops on out of that. Whereas the Ence approach is scientific. They are like, going through each and every protocol in place and getting it done the right way.
Getting it done, and they're only getting better as the time goes. They're evolving in real time. We're watching it each and every round. It's kind of fun.
It's like Pokemon.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that. But it's time to Pikachu's. The map Vetos are here on this screen with us right now. You like that one, Chad?
Yeah, well, Maniac and I were kind of talking about this Veto just before we came on air, and I think the cash ban from Ence will come in, and NIP obviously with the Dust too. But the pick difference, last time NIP picked into a train. This time round, I think they're going to pick into an overpass. I think that's a good chance to punish Ence potentially. And then this is where it gets a little bit interesting. If you are Ence, you can pick an Inferno, which you've beaten them on pretty easily before, or a Nuke is also a pretty good choice for them, I think.
Yeah, obviously, Ence have the possibility to go either Nuke or Inferno. I think Nuke could be a risk. Obviously, Nip have had successes.
Beat Sprout on it, yeah.
Obviously, they have had success over the years on this map. When they were extremely good, that was one of the maps you did not want to play against them. They used to be, in my opinion, one of the best CT teams in the world. Yep. Obviously, we're talking different roster, but still, when you have some players in the lineup who have dominated a map, they kind of are able to share the knowledge to their teammates. How is the rotation supposed to work? So I'm actually kind of happy Ence go for the Inferno pick. I think they saw the trap in the potential Nuke.
It's one where I guess their more fundamental side of CS will pay dividends, right? Because you can have that structure on the T side. You can do those really nice set pieces where it's not as easy for an individual to run in with a pistol and crack open a bomb site. We know NIP can have it. We know that they can get it done. They've had to do that throughout the tournament just to stay alive, just to get to this point. They're going to need more of that. They're going to need it out of Rez. They're going to need it out of Dennis. They've been the pivot men for them. So with the Overpass pick, if they're unable to get the ball rolling, you saw how they had to have bailout rounds earlier in the tournament. You remember that round from Dennis pushing up sandbags, getting 2 kills, winning a clutch situation. Without that, they may have even lost to Red Reserve in the opening. Now you get the choice right here if you are that of Ence between Nuke and what's the final map? What am I forgetting? Nuke and Train. And yeah, I think we spoke about they'd be more than happy for it to go to Train, but that's probably where NIP are happy to have it go as well.
And it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would have been surprised.
It's a comfortable last map, yeah.
It is. It would have been surprised if Ence allowed Nuke to go in. I think Train makes more sense, even though NIP played it yesterday. Still think it's the logical pick as third map.
Yeah, this is NIP have to take the first map if they want to win this series. I think if they drop Overpass, it's going to be a 2-0 in favor of Ence, whereas it can go all 3 maps. I'm going to give Ence the heavy advantage as we go into Inferno, and then when we get to Train, it just depends on which version, which emotional beast of NIP we have. Is it the one that's shutting down and is very quiet and aren't playing as a squad, or are they fired? Are they pumped up? Are they ready and raring to go? Are they going to give it to Ence and show why they're the more experienced unit?
Well, rather than spamming ship to help Nip, how about we do this? We're going to give away 50,000 big ones.
50,000?
50,000 big ones, and I do not mean dollars. I'm talking about FACEIT points. And, Chad, why is it important to link your YouTube account and your FACEIT account?
Well, you can't win the points unless they're linked, because what you want to happen is you'll be watching in YouTube, it's going to drop, it's going to come up with your FACEIT or YouTube name, I'm not sure which one exactly, and then it's going to go straight to your account, and then you're going to be able to go to the FACEIT store and buy things. Skins and stuff.
Buy things. Everybody likes to buy things. And that's what you're going to have a chance to do. We're going to be doing a drop right now. And I'm also, we got a decent drum roll out of you. I don't know if you can build us up in any other way, if you got like some sort of interpretive dance or something you can do, Maniac, for a giveaway. Literally anything you can do right now to build this giveaway moment up.
I could be like this and turn around when it's time for the giveaway.
Yeah, I like that.
This
is gift material.
Here we go.
Camera's on you. Camera's on you. Let's do the giveaway in 3, 2, Maniac.
Wolf 987!
987. Woo! You have secured 50,000 FACEIT points. Don't spend it all in one place, bud. Tell them where to go again.
Over to the FACEIT store.
Yep, FACEIT store. Also, faceitmajor.com/giveaway, and perhaps you can win the next time we do one of these drawings. Real quick, 3, 2, 1. Who do you got? 3, 2, 1.
Ence.
NIP.
Oh,
I had a nice explanation for that, but it's fine. Let's go.
Well, can he have the explanation? He was going to have an explanation. Is there time trace?
I think
it's time.
I'm pretty sure the commentators are ready, but you know what? I'm going to give it to you a free pass on this one.
Okay, fast forward. Here's the thing. We know Ence's level. To me, it's a high level, sure, but it's up there. I think NIP are a roller coaster at the moment. They can go down, but it can be extremely high. And I'm going to go with the dream. I say NIP are going to show their best individually speaking, and if it happens, I think it's a no match. If the NIP players show up, they win.
That's ifs and buts and candy cane mutts.
Okay.
I don't know how that saying goes.
I don't even know that it applies to what. I have no idea where you'd use that saying.
That's like red beans and ravioli.
I know what saying I'm going to use as we go ahead and hand this one off to our commentators. Smokes, Henry, Sadikist, let's go.
You're laughing, I'm not. I'm assuming you get that and I don't.
Trailer Park Boys reference. What
I should get that.
Yeah.
They're just up the way.
Corey, Trevor, Smokes, let's go.
That's right. I do know that one. I've tuned out. The problem is when you live in Halifax, you tune out every single Trailer Park Boys quote because they're just everywhere. So I'm oblivious to most of them now.
It's one of my favorite shows right now. But anyway, one of my favorite teams, NIP, are up against another of a team that's close to my heart, Ence. I really hope both of them make it, but sadly they can't, Matt. It's one of those difficult ones. You have to choose who would think will come out on top. I think Maniac raises some good points there. The fact that they do have better players technically than NIP, but we've seen the very worst of them at times at this event. We've also seen some promising maps as well. It is an absolute roller coaster. It's difficult to gauge what's going to happen here. I feel like NIP will win overall, but I don't think it'll be clean. I think there'll be some touch and go moments where Dennis will have to resurrect them once again. We're off to the races. Let's find out who else will be going to the major here. It's going to be either Ence or NIP joining Optic in the grand final, which will be coming up after this. Whoever makes the grand final is automatically in the major. It's a matter of prize money at that point. And we're off. We'll see a T-side start from NIP, a P250 for Dennis. He's going to be in middle. Forrest will be holding absolutely nothing. He's taken down.
Gets wrecked on the pistol round. great man to find on the pistol round. Dennis, the other, obviously, for NIP. He's over toward B. Actually, take that back. He's back toward middle. He's going to swing through water. The other three are at B, so it's not all four in one position. They are still trying to work some sort of strategy, but bomb gets in to be planted. That's the main objective for NIP. Last spot on the major. On the line, Rez Pitt. He'll hold for anyone jumping out the window. Needs to be cautious of anyone swinging above him. He'll go for that instead. Does find Sergey, backs off, but 1 for 1, that's fine. Or is it? Because there's still 2 men down. Get right pulls 1. He's going to now be in a 1 versus 3. No utility. Has armor and the kit on the bomb already. It's done. Ence will go 1-0.
They absolutely will. All came for that opening pick. You can see what Forest are trying to do. We've seen NIP operate in that manner before, sending one player, usually Rez, I believe, who goes up towards long, and he'll try and suggest his presence there, maybe pull a rotation. If he gets a kill, that's ideal. Forest went down, though, and his teammates operate effectively in towards B. They get a bomb plant down, at least, but didn't find all the kills required. You can see Ence preparing for the AKs in the next round. They've got 4 rifles here. 1 UMP. As Allu looks up or down towards the T-steps. Full eco here for the next round. So objective purely to get the bomb down. That's a very difficult task. We'll see if they can do anything.
Sergey caught in no man's land. That's a problem. Overrun. Rez with the opening kill, and they'll pursue 5 players on the stairs. Allu better pick his targets wisely. Manages only 1, so 2 with Alexi. This is pace from NIP that shows the pistols are still a problem for other teams to go against when it's NIP wielding them, but a good recovery on the rotation. They managed just barely to pull it back and deny the bomb plant.
Yeah, very dicey. That's mission complete really by NIP. They didn't get the plant, but they cost him 3 weapons. Aerial saves the day, looked calm. You can see he's got very fast sensitivity as well. He's quite assertive. Jumps through, makes sure that bomb doesn't go down. That's all Get Right wanted to get out of the situation. But here we go. AKs coming out. 5 of those. And we'll have some smokes as well. Allu's on the shotgun. The Max 7 to be specific. I think we've only had 4 of those purchased so far in this tournament. So it makes another appearance. I think most of them by Get Right, to be honest. As the CTs go aggressive here, they know their buy's not ideal. Trying to work that first pick, but Get Right, as ever, not really a lurker anymore. He's more the hard support, holding for flanks. And that's exactly what he's found. He wants to fall back to more defensive line, maintain this man advantage. He knows they're pushing towards his position. His teammates presumably start getting in towards A now. Fantastic smoke by him. Didn't panic too much there, Matt. Just made sure he did his job. Got that first pick, held them off, and shoved them back towards B. That was really quite nice by him.
Sergey gets Lacro early. 2-0 for Ence. 2 kills in the round that currently exists. 1 for other side. Sergey back to the site. We'll watch out toward long. Rez gets to the corner. Bomb will wait at long as well. The only one not there is Get Right. That's unsurprising, but he can't get toward water this time. So rather than lurk over toward B, he'll swing back around. They've got good information with both Allu on the shotgun inside of connector and the push towards sandbags now even further than that for Alexi in the water. That should tell them they're going A. They realize it with that kill, but 7's the only one that's close enough to do anything about it. Meanwhile, the flank is going to be everything. It's a shotgun for Allu to do it. He's got to close the distance. He'll be as evasive as possible going through the bathrooms and doing so. Alexi gets caught behind him. Rez still watching behind. Should be the round to NIP.
4-on-2. I think you might be right there. Faster approach. CT's trying to fight fire with the aggressive push towards B, but it ultimately led to the round defeat. I can see what they're trying to do. Their money was severely affected from the previous round with the P250s. Trying to get that first pick. They know Get Right usually holds B by himself. They've been watching the demos yesterday. Allu presumably goes down here. His former teammate Get Right finds him. And we'll have ourselves a 2-1 scoreline. NIP pull 1 back. And it looks like it's either eco or force buy time for Ence with 1500 X7 and Aerial. Pretty much, I'd say they'll go for some sort of buy here. One of the players will take a full investment, Aerial, and they will indeed force this with the MP9 being purchased there. Only 2 of them? Oh, this is another scrappy last-second decision. Allu's the only one keeping any sort of money, not buying a thing. So everyone else with the CZ and that MP9.
Get Right. Holding on the inside of Monster for the T perspective. Rez and Forest will go out toward long. No presence at all from Ence in that position. It's going to be back toward the site that Allu holds with the USP. Lacro will clear out the underpass. So just one round, and already because of the early bye, because of the win from Nip, and they might get a second almost as a given. That also goes back to the round where they rushed A side and got 3 kills, because it takes the investment away.
That's true. That was an impressive NIP, you have to say, have looked impressive with pistols throughout this tournament. Pretty much characteristic that's kept them in this tournament. They looked up and down, but their pistol play has been second to none. On those 4 spies, they seem to win more rounds than they lose, as they will be winning this round as well. The 4 spy that Ence doesn't work out too well. It will be 2-2 here, as they desperately hold on to their CZs and MP9s. Let's see if that's even possible. Rez and Lekro holding towards middle. I don't think they're actively hunting, though. This is our second best of 3 of the day, with the grand final coming up next. Ence just played against Optic in a 3-map affair. Close but no cigar. This is their last chance now to qualify for the major. We either say goodbye to a promising Ence or a pedigreed NIP. I'm not sure what I'd rather see. I guess if I look down to my heart of hearts, Ence for me, it seems to have more potential right now.
Yep, I actually agree with that. I think, I mean, potential's obvious. They're young, they're a new team, and they're showing form. Nip has been on a downward decline forever, and we've seen they've already been around for a while, so potential's not the word. It's just not there anymore.
And the fact they don't have to dedicate to Orpa, and they've got a new in-game leader.
I don't, you know, we talked about the lack of changes for Nip for a while. Then they make them, and they don't make a lot of sense. You get rid of Exist, sure, you're trying to get away from the old guard, change things up, but you get rid of the in-game leader.
Yeah.
Then you get rid of your designated opper. You bring in the player that your designated opper then replaced on another team, make him the in-game leader.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Dennis Beck, I don't get it. Like, the roles are not there. You've gotten rid of your 2 most defined roles, and suddenly, boom, you got nothing.
Well, we'll see where they can make it. They've looked pretty good in the last couple.
They have. Yesterday was more convincing for me.
Yes. We'll see this pistol buy again, or save, I should say. These are 3 CZs, and that Infinity taken over. That's a good flash, though. You can see the teamwork event is coming into its own. Rez, though, always got such great spray control and decent aim. As he finds the first 2, he's just waiting for reaction here. Defensive line, that's the way to hold it. He's low HP, doesn't want to risk going down and giving away that AK. Just hold back, his job's done at this point. His teammates waiting for reactions on the other side of the map. They've left B open. Lekro's falling back towards there. Look at Forrest's position. He's actually all the way towards the end of long, so his teammates will wait until he starts confirming that the site is clear. He's just about to arrive there on the A site now, and the CT's coming in behind. There's Forrest just opening things up, confirming that everything's clear, and now Lekro can just hold them at bay. He doesn't have to work too hard for these frags. Okay, maybe a little bit harder than I thought. I thought he'd just be holding defensively, holding them off, but Rez has got it under control. He'll take Allu, and indeed Sergey. Well done, 3-2. That should be another buy available now for the Finnish squad. Well, it's quite interesting, this matchup, because you've got Natu, who's the coach of Ence, who used to be the coach of NIP, and you've got Allu, Orping for Ence, who used to be the Orpa of the same team. So, some crossover storylines there. We'll see if tension starts to get a little bit higher here. I think really separating the 2 teams right now. Ence winning the pistol, but losing the 3rd round. 4 spy to get right to look towards the boost spot. No one there. Good grenades though at the start. You see Aerial get absolutely battered. Get Right's looking a little bit more active this time. Is he going to try and walk up towards short? No, perhaps not. Just waiting for any sort of 3-man boost. His teammates are doing the heavy lifting towards Monster there. The ones who are going to try and open things up. Probably their deadliest duo, Dennis and Rez, in terms of raw aim. Let's see whether they can open things up. Doesn't look like it. Segregated with their vision. Aerial will trade back with Get Right.
Get Right still works back out. Rez, inside of the site already, has gotten there from Monster, so Get Right wants to join him, but he's still worried slightly about Connector. Bomb not yet planted, trying to work out. It's the 3rd man back, it's Forrest. That has to work out. In fact, he throws it forward to Rez instead because he's holding his position. Lexi tries to go through and capitalize on that. Does massive damage onto Rez, but he'll still get away with the plant. And as such, we remain in a 4-on-4. No nade yet thrown toward Rez. Remember, Aerial is also low. Good find as Rez slides out, but Sergey and Allu change the fates once more. Forrest might have the money seat, although he's going to have to be fair, because Get Right's gone down at Sandbags. It's a 1 versus 2. Finds the first, 7 HP. They know exactly where he is. Pillar would protect him if he wanted to slide up, but he thought that Aerial was over by the barrels instead. And Ence will get away with it to make it 3-3.
Definitely will. Aerial, 3 kills. Amazing tournament from him so far. It is a defuse, but remember, only one player survives. This could be a bit of an issue because NIP money is spiraling out of control. They got $12,000 for res. Forrest was in 5 digits as well as they drop some weapons here. It's Aerial getting it done. Nice positioning, making sure he gets absolutely everything done through the smoke and finishes things off in style behind that pillar. Forrest hasn't had his best tournament, I'll say that much. He's not looked as sharp as usual. He's had definitely some glorious moments in this tournament, but also some howlers as well. He is an amazing player when he's in form. Still, for me, one of the best. I love the way he plays. Never seems to lose his class. Aerial, get right. And comes out on top. Nice aggressive play. Can afford to do that when you've got the AK-47. As you can see, he's just mowing them down. Reds can do nothing about that. 5-on-3, and he gets away.
Dennis working back out, pre-aims the jump spot, no one there. He'll work toward the sandbags on the inside of that. You've got Aerial on 19, has to be very careful about his positioning. Bomb's not committed. Lacro again the one to have it. They've taken this site with 3 players before on the NIP side, but this one is all more important. Good response from Dennis, greater from Zevin as he gets out with the UMP and fires into the smoke. Knew he was going to be backpedaling after the shot. Gray screened as he was. That's how he'll die. Zevin now holds pillar as well. He can play it off a sound as they wrap in from Monster, knowing that both are there. Lacro to flash out one side. Forrest will hold toward the window. AWP in hand, spots it, nails it, but can't reset. Oh, nearly did. Say shouldn't have the time to reset. Zevin does capitalize, and we go the lead for Ence.
Absolutely true. You are right. It was a nice attempt there by Dennis, but the UMP guns him down. That's what you call a trade. That's how it should be working out. Crossfires, we can help each other. This play, though, I really enjoyed this. Aerial going to town, and how did he get that second kill? Here's Allu. Solid as ever. We'll be taking down another NIP. Still with decent money, though. They're on the T side, so 3 rounds at this point. That's absolutely fine. You can see Alexi and Aerial and MP9s now, so this could be a change in pace as they get towards that connector. Lacro, incredibly gifted player, now the new in-game leader of the squad. He'll find the first kill through smoke. I think he had the sound cue at the door opening. Sprays towards it, gets it dead on. Nice opening pick. Doesn't get much better than that. Right at the start of the round, you know the money's not amazing on the CT side. You can afford just to hold up now and see what the reaction is. You've got players like Get Rights holding for flanks. As your teammates start to see what's going on towards long. Allu. Already had that one. Not quite. Narrowly misses out on the first kill.
Sergey still holding at connector, wants to swing, but won't go any further than just the edge of the door because Forrest was already holding it on the other side. A polite gentleman that he is.
Indeed.
After you. So Nip finally have a sustainable lead with 5-on-3. Allu looks toward long with the AWP. Again to make contact. Oh, Zevin just stopped in time. One more step, he would have been found. He certainly is. Get Right's not ready for both, though. Nade in hand, and Aerial strikes. It's still, though, affordable because it's one player found out of the 2 that are remaining, and it's on the B site. Very fast from Allu to find Forrest, but again, Nips has the advantage, and they'll put the bomb down.
Bomb has been planted. 3-on-2. Aerial. And Allu coming in. That's an Allu shot I've ever seen. You can just feel it coming in for him. Scopes it. Takes down Dennis, and now they've got a chance here, but they have got the AK and a kit there. Bomb ticking away. They have just one HE grenade, not really much else. Aerial has to waste a bit of time here, checking every crevice of the bomb site. Allu confirms long is clear, and there's the HE attempt. They'll go for it. Lacro will walk into the nade, but I don't think there's much chance here. Allu might be proving me wrong, though. Just one player to find. The bomb ticks away. They're going for the defuse here, and Allu, he steps up there, Matt. That's actually pretty incredible. They managed to win that round. 4 kills for Allu. NIP with the bomb down, an early 5 versus 3. And it all falls apart. Allu, this shot, incredible. Then comes in straight no scope. Wasn't even the quick scope there. We've seen some fantastic AWP in this event, haven't we? We really have found some awesome moments, especially from Allu.
Considering the opping, I think, has been one of the underwhelming traits of CS in the last few years. We haven't had any dominant ops. Guardian's had his moments, obviously. Oscar's had his moments. Kenny hasn't been the same as he used to be. Yeah, it's nice to see in this event that ops are being so influential.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Don't know why I ever doubt Allu. He always seems to be performing above expectations. As Dennis will open things up. That's a really nice shot. Takes down the AWP. Just as we praise him, he gets absolutely wrecked by the AK. It's always the way it goes. He was holding towards long, and Dennis, I assume, flashed him at the start and peeked straight after. You can see Allu in the open a little bit more. Money running weak for both teams here. Whoever loses this round will be on eco. Unless NIP lose it with the bomb going down, they can probably scrape together AKs. Less than a minute in terms of the setup. As usual, Get Right holding towards B, Lekro for the connector. This is a very standard play. We've got Sergey and Alexei watching toward long. This classic position we're seeing more and more of these days. Sergey trying to challenge Forest, and that's a challenge he'll live to regret as he'll be taken down. Forest finds him another 5 versus 3. This time Allu's not there to punish them. Surely this is the next round for the Ninjas.
Rez takes out Alexei. That's another great entrance for NIP. Series for them, it will certainly seem. Get the cameras on Get Right if they're able to pull it off. He'll be elated to be back in the major. Just one to find in this round, Zevin, and he will be found, but not dealt with accordingly. As Get Right falls at the bottom of the ladder, he'll grab the AK and try and back away with it. In fact, thinks better of it, thinking perhaps maybe they're wrapping behind. He'll go burrow him into a safe corner. Hibernation. I won't chase him anymore, despite that he's only got 10 HP. So he might get the AK. No, he won't. Lekro does spot him just barely. Bomb will detonate in the distance, but it's now just one round between them yet again. So a very close game. Bit of a slower pace to it so far.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Money not amazing for Ence, but they're going for one of these gamble investments here. The AWP of Allu. A lot of pressure riding on that, as you can see. He's got a UMP to go with it. And 3 CZs. He does need to actively hunt with the first kill, though. He can't sit back. He cannot just hold a bomb site here, waiting for flashes. Actually turns around and gets one in the face, but he has got the right angle. He has... Oh, no, the timing.
Good old CS.
Yep, the moment he looks away, that's when they walk past, but still gets the frag. Confident as ever. He'll fall back, and it's Rez that gets dropped, and Forest walks past the CZ, but Sergey can't control it. Gets the dink. And Forest not looking phased at all, is he? Absolutely wonderful by him. Gives them a 4 versus 3. 2 very crisp headshots there. Ariel has pushed off towards the sewer area in response. He'll actually fall back, and in terms of Allu's position, he's still towards long. There's 4 players heading towards B, focusing towards Monster. They're making noise now. In they go. Can the CTs do anything about this? I would suggest not.
Ariel. CZ wants to work back out from Pillar. Does. Oh my goodness, almost get both. He can fade away in the smoke as well, and that gives him time to reassemble the pistol and get an AK, better still, as he runs around behind. Forrest gets one back.
Yeah, Allu's arrived as well. And Ariel's aware. That's a great shot. He makes Forrest look quiet there. And he's been anything but this round with 3 kills. 2 on 1. Dennis has won so many of these for an IP, but he won't be finding this one.
Wow.
That's incredible. I didn't think they stood a chance of that. They had a UMP and a CZ, and it wasn't because of great shots came in. It was good crossfires, good teamwork, and then knowing what to do once they found the kills. Instead of challenging for the next one, you saw this player here, Ariel, just jump into the smoke, hide for a little bit, find an AK-47, and then be aware of what players like Forrest will be trying to do. Make their way around and just really sends them packing. 6-4, that's really going to fire them up as well. It's a massive victory. It was a huge gamble. It works out for them. They recover an AWP, an AK as well. And it's sent NIP into a force buy of their own. They've got 1 AK, a Galil, and pistols. The AK's in the hands of Forrest. He is looking pretty sharp today, so we'll see whether he can find the kills required.
Get right. Little flash toward the water position. They open the door in tandem with that. Perhaps more to timing than to be silent, because they immediately run afterwards toward the boost position. Ooh, Rez. Sneaky.
Oh, not so much. And he jump up like that, and he misses out on the shot. The aim punch, I think, gets him. He actually had armor. Maybe got dinged through the top of the wall. It will be Alexei to answer back, though. It was quite a nice idea, but one that didn't work out. They had the shot lined up, didn't quite find the one dig. 5 and 4. They've got 2 smokes and a couple of players tagged up. Allu's patrolling A. He'll be there with Sergey and Alexei. That side is shut down. Smoked off long. Allu can focus now primarily on bathrooms. There is a slight gap there, so he's going to check it, but you feel like he's getting at least 2 there.
Might get 2 for 1 if they line it up too easily when they sneak out, but it gets Dennis. Falls off. Here we go. Where's the second one, Henry? Let's see how much of a man you really are with a wager. Sergey's got 2. Get right is one of them. Forrest, Alexei, well, didn't get 2, but still stayed alive, and his job was certainly done.
That's going to be NIP going to an eco now, so well done to the boys in Ence. They have got themselves a stable economy. NIP trying to answer back with their own force buy. Fortunately, the boost didn't work out. They funnel back towards the A bomb site. Allu finds the first kill, and they had such a read on the situation with 3 players in crossfires. Allu gets his first, and that cues the rest of the terrorists to go in. They're trying to hunt him, but he's already faded away towards the bank. Easy scenario for his teammates. He didn't even get players looking at them. They assumed it was maybe just Allu on the site. Lekro, the new in-game leader, as far as I know, hasn't got experience of doing it before. A lot of trust given to him. Now they'll take the tactical pause. What is the buy going to be? Remember, it's best of 3, so they can afford to lose this map. NIP that is, but still early days. This is presumably going 8 to 4 though. Because Glocks, no armor, no nades. But they could catch Allu off guard here, but he'll safely fall back. Might take a bit of damage here, but he seems fine.
Sergey swinging out is always finding a kill. He seems to be good for 1 in every situation, sometimes more. Finds his second. Does get taken down by Dennis in the end, and manages impressively with a Glock to find a headshot on Allu as well. And it's just Get Right remaining, but he's only got 2 targets to find, which is much better than you might have expected at the start of the round for NIP. Get Right. Without the bomb, does know that 1 is toward the top side of the connector. He'll rotate back around along and take the MP9 with him. But won't go all the way in that direction as he swings back toward the bathrooms, Henry.
Absolutely. Get Right. That's got about a 10% chance of winning this. Basically, it's not impossible. MP9, no armor. He just needs to outposition one of them, and he has now been spotted. That might reduce his chances quite significantly. As soon as possible, but there it is. They will pincer him in and take him down. Had to really find some insta-kill with that MP9 somehow. Not really the ideal weapon to do it with. 8-4. NIP have lost 3 in a row, meaning the lost bonus has now got the $2,400. Took an eco, and now they can buy again. Got the smokes, the Molotovs, no AWP. They haven't purchased an AWP once, I don't think, on their T side, so that's the problem. I guess it's absolutely fine to have 5 rifles, but you just haven't got a focus of bringing that weapon out. Everyone's more than happy to keep force buying instead of saving for the AWP, which could change things. Allu looks like he's having a little bit too much fun right now. Are they boosting?
Boost, yep, in the park. Now that is at the tree to look long. You can't actually see over the wall to the picnic. It's clever. I mean, there's so many boosts on this map that whenever you see it, you have to go second guess and be like, can they see there from... There's so many boosts on this map.
There are some bizarre ones as well. You can actually sit on a balloon.
Yeah, I know. I always wanted to sit on a balloon as a kid.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fill it with helium. Maybe fly away. But then you came along and bursted my bubble, Henry.
Burst the bubble. Well, that might be happening to NIP. They don't pull the socks up.
Pick up their socks.
Pick up their socks, sorry, yes. I'd like to be correct here. Allu will be waiting towards long. He got wrecked by the AK before, but this time falls back. That's the flashbang that caught him off guard. This time, no opposition there. 40 seconds. It looks like they will be committing towards A as time ticks away. They have 2 smokes, 1 molly. Sergey's waiting in the one and done spot in the corner. By the flower bed, of course. But he does need some backup just to take a bit of the attention away. The start smoke comes in. That's not ideal. He'll flash for his teammate. Sergey. Oh my god, that flashbang was spot on. It saved him. Can Forrest even trade this? Yes, he can. 4-on-4.
Good swing. Allu still, though, inside of the side of the boxes. Alexei holding from the truck, and Allu does make do once more. He can find 2 this time. Doesn't, but you're right. Round's done. Bomb is down. They challenge. They don't need to. Let the time expire. They'll get him beforehand. That's fine. It's 9-4, and they'll be happy with that, given that they now have a 5-round lead 4 of which have come in the last 4 rounds for Ence.
It's absolutely true. Oh, I'm getting butterflies now just thinking of the gravity of this game. The thought of NIP not being at 4 majors is a little bit worrying for me, but I do want to see Ence do well as well. I'm so conflicted. It's a difficult time for them right now. As you can imagine, they've got $3,000 per player. Another recap required. You're 9-4 down. Maniac did say these players on their day should be able to completely maul Ence, as they do have higher peaks, I would say, but we're just not seeing it recently. They need more time. Obviously, Lecro, I think he's only played 20 to 25 official maps with them. Suggests it's been a couple of weeks since he's joined, and let's see what he can do. What does he come up with on this partial buy? Spent about $1,500 per player.
Rez back around. Aerial. Holding. Not much to talk about right now, Henry, so I'm not going to.
Well, I'll try and break down what's going on right now. Forrest making his way towards middle. They've got 2 smokes. I would say an A execution of some sort. Your smoke bank. Smoke CT steps. Flash over one with pistols, and all the chaos is going on. He's trying to get the bomb down. It's unlikely you win the round, but we keep saying NIP steal these rounds away. They actually get more force by wins than they do rifle rounds sometimes. So we won't say they're out of it just yet. Allu spots one though. Doesn't nail the shot this time. And now that will be the cue for them to deploy what they've got. Smoke's being lined up right now. One of them's gone in. Second one being ready to throw. There we go. That's kill will be traded. Allu finds that. He's still on the site. Can they deny the bomb?
Try to. Lexi swinging both directions. No such luck. Electro finds him with a deagle, and the smoke's down just enough to overwhelm, but Allu just enough to see through. How does he not find Dennis on that one? Try, but not enough. Nice light, no cigar, and still went out the round. It's 10-4.
That was scary. Allu missed a couple. They got very close. But Aerial saved the day again. Very similar scenario. Just as the bomb was trying to be planted, he runs in and saves the day. Round 15. It's going to be a quick one if they get 11-4. That was the partial buy to allow them to have AWP here. For the first time on their T side, Forrest has now purchased the AWP. You can see why that might be troublesome for them, because they're more than happy to get 5 rifles and it's not working out. It'll take them a while to recover. Allu looking to take him down though. In the corner to spot right now. You'll know Forrest's play style at the back of his hand. Played in this team for over a year. NIP, that is.
Yep. Had 2 cracks at it, actually.
That's right.
Brought him back as a stand-in for a period of time.
That really hurt. Aerial taking a lot of damage there from the HE grenade. 60 points of health removed as Dennis eviscerates Sergey. They'll commit towards A now, but Allu's missed a couple now. Looking as brutal as he once was in the first half. Well, beginning of this half. 9-4, they've got the advantage. Can they finally convert this one? They've done more damage. Surely this is an NIP round. Get Right's got the bomb though at the connector. Are you thinking about bailing out?
Not sure as of yet, because Alexi still thinks they're committing, and rightfully so finds Dennis. Allu changes his angle for once and gets the bomb down again. 28 seconds. They'll recover by getting him. Lecro has to watch the stairs, and Rez is the one to hit the shot. Lecro had the angle even still. He'll now put the bomb down. Aerial through the smoke, flash in, spots one, but loses track of exactly where it went. 10-5 at half.
Decent effort.
Was a decent effort. Had to go for it. Round 15, obviously, but Ence have the lead. Double that of what NIP achieved.
Yeah. Aerial and Allu leaving NIP battered and bruised there. 19 kills for Aerial, the very tippity top of their scoreboard, and will be 15 for Allu. At top of NIP is Reds. Oh, actually, I'll take it back. Forrest is 12, Reds with 11, Get Right with 10. Everyone's contributing on their side. They've got 5 rounds. Doesn't seem ideal. It's not, but it's absolutely fine. I'm confident a team like NIP can recover. It all comes down to this, though. Can they pick up the pistol round? Get Right, as we mentioned, is sort of the support player these days. He'll have the fuse kit and smoke. No armor for him. as Ence get ready to potentially go towards B. They're going to get up towards short first. They're making a bit of noise here. They've got one smoke, two flashbangs. They could either smoke towards heaven or smoke on the site. We'll see which one it is. Oh, no, I'm not really sure where that one goes. It looks like heaven. Indeed it is.
Get right behind the barrel. Smoke goes down. Lecro tries his absolute best to get the shots off. Won't do much about the first, but does swing back to find Seven. Get right, trying to do the same. Bomb down in their possession. We'll call it possession. Real does get right in return, but Dennis still controls the situation as they're up by one. Bomb is grabbable for Ariel, but he wants to fight instead, and rightfully so. He'll find Lecro over top of the half wall. Knows he's swinging, or does he? I expected him to be more responsive to that. His teammate having already fallen. Dennis closes the round, then it's 10-6.
Definitely is. NIP holds strong with the B attack with nothing really too technical there. As I said, they had that one smoke that goes in towards the heaven area, and at that point, flash over, try and split towards the site. Lecro opened things up with a nice USB headshot, and then it was pretty simple procedure there. 2 versus 1. Ariel's been playing well so far. He's got 22 kills. He's got a few in that round. But that was a bit too much of a reach for him. Low HP, 2 players around him. And we get into the second round. Force buy from Ence. No bomb went down. So CZs and B250.
Oui, Denis. He'll sit with the FAMAS at the ready. So no M4s. Still think Glock burst fire and FAMAS burst fire could use a little bit of a, you know, on the scale of 1 to 11, maybe crank it to 11.
Could do.
Arbitrary, of course, but still would go to 11, so.
Let's do anything with this. They have got close to the site now. They've only got flashbangs available, though. CZs doesn't get close enough. Can cause some damage. Get right, can't. Plenty of players in front of him as the trades come through. It's hard to keep up, but Ence have the lead for now. Bomb to be planted. Forrest coming through bathrooms. His teammate Lecro. And the CT steps. They have not got a kit between them, but they do have Forrest. 2 smokes. Forrest might have owned it.
Good position. Wraps around them.
He knows another one's there. He's ready for this.
May not figure out exactly. Okay, yeah, he's going to. Figure out where he's gone. Swing around. There you are. Hello, sir. Forrest with another kill. It's down to Allu. Bomb planted. Still, maybe he can do some damage having picked up the UMP smoke on it. However, they're going to start the defuse. The lineup if he keeps spraying, but he won't get there in time.
Oh,
does force him off it. He did force him off it. I thought he was going to hold that all the way through. He didn't have a kit, so Lecro has to take the fight, and Allu manages to win it. As a result, I thought that was done, but Allu says otherwise.
Oh my goodness, it felt like Forrest had completely sealed the deal with those 2 kills. His brilliant attempt to get in towards the bathrooms finds them both, but Allu just keeps destroying them in these situations. So he gets the player protecting the defuse. I think they thought he was towards long. He gets that first and the full defuse. It had 5 seconds left on it, and Lecro was like, oh, I've got to get off this. He'll fire me, he'll knife me. He gets off, Allu jumps in the smoke that they deployed, and it all goes wrong. 11-6, force buy in return. NIP give up the second round after winning the pistol. This is absolutely massive. But again, NIP with Deagles and CZs and such, always a chance they can win it. Seems like quite an equal matchup.
So far, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was always going to be good on paper. It is very unfortunate that Optic, Ence, and Nip are all capable of going to the major, indeed. And yet only 2 of them can.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It is a shame. Unfortunately, we can't have all 3. Get right's done well. Spots Alexi and pushes towards T-spawn. If he can get his skates on here, he'll have a chance of sabotaging. Maybe the Deagle would be great at this sort of range. Unfortunately, he's got the CZ. So
he is on concrete.
Make this work? He could go for a knife, then a CZ kill.
Get right from behind. He makes it work. He's done it. You're right. He's had trouble with that all weekend, it seems.
That's great. Well done.
Sergey confused as to where the damage came from, but this could be NIP stealing it back yet again as they walk through Monster. Lecro, he's already softened them up. Sergey down. Alexi versus 5. Go figure in this situation.
I think Get Right's rationale at that point was like, okay, they're both my screens right now. If I go for the knife, they're going to suspect something in the next 5-6 seconds if I check behind them. I need to go for these kills now. He was very calm with that one and secures it for his team. It's going to be a clean sweep as well on the force buy. They've done it once again, this time courtesy of Get Right. Gets himself lovely 2 frags and maybe sneaks behind this player as well, showing us why he's considered the king of luck. And he'll survive. All of them do. They've managed to take away some AKs too. 11-7. Ence frustrated with that one. Look at this. Perfectly done. Didn't go for just precise headshots there. Just want to make sure all the bullets connected after finding the dink and get the job done.
Rez waits with the AK. Smoke down. Dennis swings and still can't do damage, but spots them out to Wardlong. I say can't do damage, he actually. They will combine. Throws a nade in and does a little bit, but they will combine to find Alexi. I've been responding, though, with the CZ. Careful, man. These pistol rounds. Oh, me, oh, my. Like warm apple pie. So Ariel having an AK picked up to accompany Sergey. There's some promise to that tale.
Very slow. Let's make their way forward, but they are blocked in res. Presumably there's at least 1 kill here. Spots them. Really well done by him. Great information gathering. Necro goes 1 step further. Sabotages Sergey's efforts. 4 versus 3. Ariel still has the AK. All 3 of them commit towards long, but Rey's nice defensive position. Changes things up. He will go down, but damage inflicted. They should still win the round here. Necro comes behind them again. And there we go. They managed to negate the force bite, and it will be 11-8 as NIP claw their way back into this game. Should be full eco now for Ence. So you can hold on to those SMGs, keep the money strong. Will there be an AWP here? Not quite. 1 AK, 2 enforced, 2 UMPs. Just the 1 kit for now, there's a second. And not a single dollar invested in round number 20 here for Ence. Just going to have Glocks. No armor, no nades. One of those rounds where you can just have a chat about the next one. You know you're not going to win this.
Nade, Forrest, open the door, throw it in. Slam dunk moment. He hasn't thought about it yet. He's gone for his evidence. Get right, gets his nade out, and then manages just in time as the back's returned to have his gun at the ready. He'll find a kill. Forrest needs to get his gun at the ready. That's styling. Just styling on him, bro. Deagle instead. Get right finds the 2 remaining, and we've got 2 rounds separating. Ence in the lead to get NIP to get right, and NIP on 9.
There we go. Clean sweep. Easy stuff. NIP. Plenty of cash, but the Allu AWP has come out as a problem for them in the first half, and still in the lead 11 rounds to 9. The score in the second half right now is 4-1 after winning the pistol in favour of NIP. The only round they've given up is a second round force buy, which they managed to fight back with after a great get-right flank towards T-spawn. Perfectly timed. AWP for Allu, but him and X7 have no grenades, really, just 1 smoke. See if that's enough. Allu waits patiently for any sort of CT pushes here. Forrest gets himself in sewers, vulnerable to flashbangs, but still a strong spot. Reds actively working for a kill as well, so they're playing a semi-aggressive stance here. Not rushing towards fountain or anything like that, but happy to fight for frags. Allu answers straight back, and that's advantage Ence. As Allu commits towards long now.
Get right gets away. Dennis, meanwhile, holding for Allu, who thought long was clear and was setting up to fire inside of the site, gets caught off by that. So back to NIP with the advantage, but it's a contact play from Zevin to try and open up the site. No one directly in it, but Forrest is toward the water. Sergey, door opens. Lekro. 1 in return off camera, but 1 on for Sergey, taking down the only B defensive member. Still the advantage for NIP, and they've gotten window covered for Dennis, but that's now smoked. So it comes to Lekro to swing, and a flank that's rather slow at this point from Get Right. May need to speed up. Good trade from Dennis. That'll control things a little bit more. They'll concede the plant and let Chris get in position. He's already near enough to the sandbag. Smoke wide side. Dennis won't be able to see the shot, but Get Right will.
Yeah, perfectly done. Again, Get Right's looking like he's got his head in the game. Getting the timings right, getting the flanks working, nothing too flashy, just some good CS coming out of him, doing enough to win rounds. As they continue to get back into this 11-10 now. They saved 2 players over, they've got plenty of cash to distribute the wealth. Dennis on the AWP now. I think this might be another little partial buy from Ence. Loss bonus currently at the 4th stage. As you can see in the bottom left of your screen, $2,900.
Dennis couldn't quite catch the man running to the park, but a nade should do a bit of damage. Did he actually catch Allu in the leg? Did I miss that? He's down to 29. That wasn't from the nade. Perhaps he did, Henry.
Maybe.
Dennis, meanwhile, with his own AWP, goes back out, res bathrooms. Get Right's already found the first. Back toward long. Res only good for 1, which is the amount of men IP have to the great, to the good. But better still, Get Right finds Zevin. Go flash and smoke off toward the bathrooms. Dennis tries to fire out. They know the remaining 2 members of Ence are in that position, and we might have an 11-11 game. Which means, Henry, touch something red and make a wish.
Something red?
It's part of the rule.
Is it really? Ah, the cricket ball. Perfect. There we go. It's going to be Get Right, though. Takes down Sergey. Looks like it's a clean sweep almost. Reds did go down. But Ariel has almost no chance of winning this. He's just trying to cause any sort of damage he can. As the cash brought up, even if he finds 1 kill, it's not really going to matter. But we'll see what he can do. If he can get a plant somehow, that'd be great. This is a good start. It's another dink, but like I said, 1 kill. Not really going to do too much for Ence there. That was a bit of a partial buy. Again, you can see they've got plenty of cash here in round number 23. Single AWP setup so far for an IP. That's going to be Dennis, who has been very good with that weapon. 3 players in NIP with 17 kills, Lekro with 12, Get Right with 19, top fragging. Great to see that. He's had a really smart game. Nothing like too flashy, apart from that one memorable CZ play. He's just doing a good job of doing enough to edge his opponents out and make sure they can't get plants, getting behind them, making them frustrated. As 11-11 does come through. Tactical timeout again, a chance for Natu to get involved. And a great start here on Overpass. Lead is slipped away though. So how do they recover? Allu purchases the AWP once again. The younger players discussing their options as they get AKs out. Do they want to go for a set piece here? Do they want to mix things up and go for a very fast approach? Time will tell.
Reds. Around to the fountain. Nade goes in toward the stairwell, but Allu backs off, reading that well. Zevin has taken the most amount of damage thus far. Get Right to push out toward construction. Sometimes known as water, sometimes known as construction, sometimes I don't even know. Get behind the squeaky door. They're inside of it. 3 of them. Not wise to go through that, not wise to probably take that fight, but he'll hold position. That's all he wants at this point is the information for the short tunnel.
Very slow. 7 has been tagged. CT's with a focus towards short. Lekro watching the connected door. Get Right watching the short pipe, but no one there. As Forrest can fall back and boost the defense of the A-bomb site. Dennis is there with the AWP, of course. Rez inside the flower bed.
And we've talked about Ence, how it's not one player carrying them, how it's been a team game. Well, this one is the opposite. Ariel's on 26, no one else nearby. Allu close on 19, but that's it. Sergey gets 1 more, but point being, they've got to all step up. So Sergey getting the opener on Rez. That'll do. Nate doesn't quite go far enough, or that, or have the timing to catch off Sergey, retreating back toward the bathrooms. Can Get Right respond. 1 goes by, fires instantly, no trigger discipline, bomb down, sprays back in to the pistol. Sergey was low enough. Now there's Zevin, but manages to get away with it. Read the red HP. Remember, there's 2 players there. Lekro, good find. Speaking of previously mentioned player, both of the red gone. It's on to Allu in a 1 versus 3 against his former teammates, but he's going to back away with 5 seconds, no chance. Nip win yet another and take back the lead at 12-11.
Well held again. Get Right with 2 more frags. He must be posting past 20 now. Indeed, 21 kills for him. Holds him off. They had no real chance there, as you saw. This great setup. It was him and Lekro holding towards shore. Nice work through the smoke there, and Lekro fell back on the bomb site. Never a doubt in mind. He's going to find that kill. Dennis finishes things off. 12-11. No bomb being planted, but There is maximum loss bonus, a chance for another buy here. Alexi still the Glock. He's going to stay on the Glock. Does he know? He's got Glock armor.
1850. Was there a gun drop for him? I think he's just realized.
I think what happened is he spent too much utility and he didn't save himself $50, so he's only got 250, so he couldn't afford the PT-50.
No, he's going back to spawn though. Was there one dropped? No, he's trying to buy now. I don't know what he's doing.
He can't buy anything.
Buy time's gone. Yeah, so you're right. He didn't actually buy. No one dropped for him. And then when he realized he couldn't get back there in time.
Yeah, maybe invested a bit too much in utility. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe they're going to do a set piece where he needs to have a smoke and a Molotov. But surely Glock is not the correct way to go with these 4 AKs. I guess if his teammate goes down, he can grab one of those to stay at the back for now. Maybe reading too much into it. Now he's got a gun. So there we go. Dennis will be going down as well. They're right back in this. 4 on 3. Making their way towards long. They're just going to charge in, it seems, as the smokes go in towards CT Spawn. Molotov at the truck. Get Right has been playing so well. Can he shut this one down? Can't find the first kill. Sergey too strong. Ence are back into it. This is looking very good now. Forest left with 3 players to find. Doesn't get any of them, and we'll see Ence tie things up for themselves. But they haven't broken the finances of NIP just yet. That was a nice looser tactic from Ence there. Just getting towards the bathrooms. Didn't have a weapon on one of the players, but they traded out kills effectively. Got him an AK, and Sergey, no doubt in his mind, he could find this initial frag to crack open the A site. He even gets 2 of them. Forest left with the impossible task of a 3-on-1 at that range. Single orb set up again for both teams. We haven't seen NIP really change the pace that much. They've gone for some semi-aggressive tactics. They haven't had a lot of presence in towards that connector yet. Orbs just stayed around the A site. We'll see if that's still ringing true. Yep, Dennis is just going to be holding the bathrooms. Hasn't challenged towards B just yet. Here's a boost. Trying to get up and look towards short for anyone trying to walk through. 12-12. First map of this best of 3. Winner of this series will be heading to the major in September. It's Dennis to find a lovely headshot there on aerial.
Trying to spray through after the boost. It did not yield any fruit. Rez pushes through, finds Sergey. Dennis already having the kill early means a 2-man advantage for NIP, and the bomb down as well behind Rez. They'll babysit it. Good find on Alexi as well. He's had a slow game, still only with 6 kills in total. That's a bit of a problem for Ence. This as well, a massive reset. Good hold from Lekro. Zevin can't even try and lurk in and catch them off guard. So Allu plays against 5. That bomb looks promising. If he could only pick it up and have a chance. Dennis won't allow that. It's 13 again for NIP. They maintain the lead by 1.
13-12. Resets coming in. This is all down to that lovely shot from Dennis. It didn't see badness, and Rez gets flashed through the smoke. Great work by him. NIP on track now to take this first map. Will it be the full eco coming in from Ence? They'll take a tactical timeout to decide what the next port of call will be. Got $1,700 on Alexi. The rest of them hovering around 3k in terms of their loss bonus. It's only at the first stage. They can take a hard eco now, allow NIP to get to 14-12, and then have the AKs into the next round. It wouldn't be ideal, but it'd be something. Or they can try and fully invest here with SMGs, pistols. It really is a difficult choice at this stage of the game. I would say take the eco best you can.
Quick reminder as well. This is NIP's map choice, Overpass. We go to Inferno next, picks by Ence, and Train if required. So Rez backs off the position at connector. No sooner does he do so than they head in that direction. The nade from Forest might have been well suited sooner because he would have had vision of them running around, but they're already at the stairs toward Dennis. Can't find the first shot, and Rez goes down with only 1 kill. Pistol's starting to overwhelm yet again, but now the op starts to work. Tag up on Allu. We'll switch to the pistol, close it out. Gives Dennis 2 kills, but watch out because they get the op picked up. Unfortunately, little Ariel could do with it with that much time. So now it's snip, 2 rounds to the end. 2 rounds to the end, and money back in the hands, mind you, for Ence. There's not going to be an AWP. They've already bought out 4 AKs. There's not enough for Alexi. He's only got, well, in fact, he's only got a Mag 10. So this has been an abysmal game from him, unfortunately.
Here we go, man. do or die time, changing things up. I think they're just going for a fast B approach here. They smoke towards Graffiti. They get a nade in, flash over, send a Mac 10 in first, but Dennis this time will find the first shot. That's Allu going down, Lecro going for the AK-47 commitment from the barrels here. Didn't miss a single bullet. Perfectly controlled, and there it is, 15 to 12 money in the bin for Ence. This was looking like a really good game. To be fair, it has been. We've had some great moments, but yes, Alexi, 6 and 23. You mentioned it before, we've commented on how it seemed like the entirety of Ence would always contribute in their victories, and you couldn't really pick a superstar out of them. Alexi's been good this tournament, but this has been a game he'll want to forget moving forward. NIP's pick of Overpass seems to be going in their favour. One rifle available for Ence here, as we get into potentially the last round. CZ and UMP. Dennis, so good with the AWP. But so good at the rifle as well. It's difficult to know where you want him.
Rez waiting, trying to fire out toward the bathrooms. Incendiary lands. What about the smoke on the other side of it? Clears, delay ever so slightly, but they'll push through the smoke. Going all in. Point for NIP. Chance to close, and then as I say, we'll go over to Ence's choice, which is Inferno. Forrest getting us that much closer. Just Sergey and Alexi to find, meaning pretty much a foregone conclusion, and it does come down to the young man. He starts off one with a UMP. Bomb is down inside of the site, 55 seconds. As soon as he rounds the corner, Forrest is waiting with the AK. NIP take map 1, and that's one map closer to the final.
What's going on over here? Forrest jumped out of a chair.
I think the other day, he and Dennis, we could see it at the end of one of the matches on the opening day. There seemed to be a lot of attention directed toward Dennis in terms of feedback. Maybe there's a little bit of internal joke and rivalry about that. Maybe it was like, oh, you've addressed it, you fixed it, all, you know, haha. It's a little camaraderie.
The turning point there was when Dennis brought up the AWP, right? And I think as well, Forrest was trying to get the top frag.
And he also did go.
Yeah, he was trying to get the top amount of frags. Dennis got 25, Forrest got 23. He was trying to find the ace to close it out, and Dennis took the kills. It's like, took it away from me, man. And then
maybe. Yeah,
so there we go. 16-12, that's the first map, was NIP's pick. I guess that's to be expected. It's a map they're famously quite strong on. But that was a good showing. Gebhardt didn't top frag, but he actually did a really good job in some of those key rounds, right? He saved the day with that CZ, a little flank coming in there. But you have to say aerial as well. This guy continues to impress. I think he was the MVP for Ence. So many great moments. But Matthew, I think that's enough from us. So now we're going to get a nice break. We're going to get some coffee, and we'll leave you in the capable
hands. We're not going to go to a break. We're going to send it straight to the end. Okay, you were going to say
I was going to do it.
I thought you were going to say
a break. That's why we're getting coffee.
Okay, all right,
we're going to throw it over to the mayor of Muscletown. It's Tracer Memphis.
Thank you, Henry Guerrero. Now, the mayor of Muscletown is not necessarily me, but in fact, the Ninjas of Pajamas right now.
No, it's actually me and Maniac, because we have the biggest brains and they're pretty big muscles, I heard.
Okay.
We're about to flex them. We're about to flex them right on you up in here, Trace. Look, they looked a lot more comfortable on this map, didn't they? You could see how shaky a lot of situations were for Ence doing this play right here, rotating back towards the B side with that water control. I want to build on Henry's point about Get Right's pivotal kills. There were a lot of them throughout in this game. I think, though, you have to just really note the fact that NIP had to withstand and weather the storm, because the Ence individuals were playing better this time around in scrappy rounds, and NIP were actually playing the better team-based Counter-Strike.
No, I agree, definitely. Chad likes to say what matters is the W. I agree with him, of course, but I think NIP made it more complicated than it could have been. I think that first half, obviously, we have to mind the Allu clutch.
Yes.
Absolutely impressive. Other rounds as well that should or could have been Snipway, that would have changed the economy of the first half. But then switching to the CT side, obviously you could see Overpass being more of a sixth map for Ence, you could argue. So they didn't really have the tactical resources to go through. They had one round that was very well put with the pop flash, AWP taking the vision, but overall they struggled a lot. And since NIP had all the money, they had the AWPs, the utilities, they never really found the solution.
Well, the solution might have been it's just time to sit down, buckle up, and get it done. And I'm talking about crunch time. That's where they found themselves, right, Chad?
Well, here's the situation that first half. It could have completely spiraled out of control for Ence, and they could have been blown out on this first map. We're about to go through two clutch situations where Ence, for once, had the number disadvantage scenario, and they actually had to battle back in with individual brilliance. The first one is more of a mixed buy round when Allu has the AWP. He's going to grab one kill. He's going to get a lovely no-scope here on the second. And throughout the tournament, Ence haven't needed to win rounds like this. Sure, they've been nice. Sure, they've cropped up every now and again, but they've actually been the ones in the number advantage, or it feels like in a lot of times. They feel like they've had to battle back in such an epic way. Now, these 2 rounds that we're about to go throughout this first half, ones that could have put NIP up to, like, I guess 10 rounds. You know, like, it's crazy how much implication winning these would have had on the economy. That's just one of the 2. The second one we're going to see here is towards the B site. This is another mixed buy. This is the CZs prevailing close range on the B bomb site once more, and once again a pivotal round for the economy of Ence, who are really just holding on by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I think what is also pretty impressive is that we talked about NIP supposedly winning these type of rounds. Maybe NIP doesn't have at the moment the backbone, the structure, the gameplay that Lekor wants to put, but they are supposed to win these rounds when the individual decisions matter.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, Ence won it, and I think that was one of the biggest reasons why it was even a close game.
Oh, definitely so. Without these rounds, Ence would have been blown out, NIP would have taken this much easier, and we would have already been onto the second map of Inferno. But I think just highlighting these, it shows that this is when the individuals of Ence can step up, and that skill level is there. It's not just the base, and this is what we're talking about. So you can see that they were uncomfortable. You can see that it was individuals like Ariel having to bail them out in certain scenarios to win clutches to keep them in the game. But going forward onto Inferno, this is where you hope that their game plan is stronger, and there aren't too many nerves, because I did notice early stages, Alexi, he looked a little bit nervous. Like, there was a round where the NIP guys hit B, and he missed a couple of shots, which he'd been hitting throughout the rest of the tournament. I think he finished on 6 kills. I'm not pointing or calling him out, but I'm just noting that we're building the storyline here that NIP have the experience, enter the young kids, so nerves are definitely a factor.
Nerves are probably, certainly, I would say, playing a factor at this point. I mean, you are yet 1 map away from a really bad spot that you don't want to be in, something that you don't want to look back on, and that's qualifying for this major qualifier, main qualifier, that is. Of course, this is the minor, and NIP are just 1 map away from securing their path into that. Now, flipping that script, it's going to be Inferno. But, of course, NIP having picked Overpass, this is Ence's map.
Yeah, before we get into that, you can make a lot of bad decisions. And one of them is the way you do your signature on the stickers. And I did mine. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up. Oh, it's working. That's how ugly mine is. No, well, they can see it. Can they see it?
There you go.
Yeah, so that's how bad mine was. That's what I did for my sticker back in 2015.
Pretty dope, man.
And it looks terrible. So really, because what I thought was going to happen was Valve were going to put it in the game and they were going to do some nice things with it, but they genuinely just went with that, and that looks really ugly. And now that's in the game forever.
Yep. I wonder if you have a Chad sticker at home, excuse me, a Sponge sticker at home, or Spud sticker, it's either one. If you have that, go ahead and use hashtag FACEITMiner. Tweet it right at us. You might be one of the select few that actually have one.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I don't have them.
You're never happening again. They're vintage.
I do have a Vox Imnor sticker.
Oh, there you go. They're worth a lot. They are worth a lot, those Vox
And
Imnor.
the producer also has a Vox. Yeah, no, he really doesn't have one. Anyways, that does it for our synopsis of Overpass. We're going to be flipping now into Inferno, and this could be exactly where the Ninjas in Pajamas turn it up just a little bit, turn the heat on, and cook this one all the way through. We're going to be going to Inferno when we come back from this break. Make sure you are here with us. If you're a NIP fan around the world, now is the time to be on your feet supporting your team. We'll be right back after this.